Chapter 692, The Shark Sibling Mutants. Part 1, Meeting May's Parents. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. It starts in the Hone region, which is over in British Columbia, Canada. Me and Xerneas were riding Rapidash, and Nico, May, Ash, Serena, Dawn, Misty, Brock, Iris, Lincoln, Earth and Lainey were flying, and Jesse, James and Meowth, Reggie, Max, Lucy, Bonnie, and Clement were riding in the hover carriage. As we rode to May's parents' house, Nico caught an octillery and a Corsilla. Me. So the Hone region is in British Columbia in Canada. That's sweet. Ash. I wonder how May's mom and dad are doing. May. Me and Max haven't seen them ever since we came here to this world. Max. That's right. I missed them and it has been a while. Me. I heard your dad is also the gym leader of the Petalburg City Gym. Max. That's right, JD. May. Ash won against him to earn the balance badge. Ash. It was the first ever badge I got from the Hone region. Me. That's awesome. Nico. Guys, I'm really nervous about meeting May's parents. What if they don't like me? Me. Don't worry, man. You have our support and we'll be there for you. Lainey. That's right. You and May are perfect for each other and we can help you with our support. Nico. Thanks, guys. Me. You're welcome. We saw May's house up ahead and it was right on the outskirts of the city of Victoria, British Columbia. May. That's my house right there. We stopped. Me. Wow. May, your house is amazing. May. Thanks, JD. We went in. May. Mom? Dad? Me and Max are home. May's parents Norman and Caroline Mabel came and they were overjoyed to see them. Norman. Hugs May and Max. May. We've missed you. Caroline. It's so nice to see you two again. How've you two been? Max. Pokemon, we've been good. And May has some news. May. I brought Jesse, James, Meowth, and my new boyfriend. Norman tensed at the word boyfriend. Norman. Excuse me for one moment. Goes to his room. Nico. To James, Jesse, and Meowth. Do you guys have a sudden feeling of dread? James. Yep. And I'm glad it's not just me. Jesse. And we know what Norman's capable of. Meowth. I feel my life flashing before my eyes. May. Stop be so dramatic. So long as he doesn't bring out the scrapbook, we'll be fine. Norman did come back, but it was not with the scrapbook. Instead, he brought out a double-barrel shotgun and a slaking. Norman. Step away from my kids and nothing will happen. Points gun at me, Jesse, James, and Meowth, who hug each other in fear with slaking growling at us. Me. Lowers the shotgun. Norman. There's no need for that. Just calm down and I'll explain everything that you missed. Norman. And who are you? Me. Oh, I'm sorry we didn't introduce ourselves. I'm JD Knudsen, leader of Team Loud Phoenix Storm. Norman. Oh wow. It's such an honor. Caroline. We've heard so much about all of you. Norman. It's an honor. We were outside and all our Pokemon were out eating apples and food and we got to talking about our adventures and we told them about all our adventures and how much we have done. Norman. Wow. You've all done so much. Me. We don't like to brag but we have to do what is needed to protect the entirety of the universe. Norman. Wow. You guys have had a tremendous impact on the entire world. Me. Not just the world but also many worlds from all over the universe. Caroline. And I heard you all destroyed an abusive Pokemon trainer. Me. Yep. That was Reggie's little brother Paul. He was probably the most evil Pokemon trainer we've ever met. Next to those of Teams Flare, Rocket and Galactic. Nico. Yep. Caroline. Oh my. Reggie. My little brother always had such a cruel side to him and I knew it was going to be the death of him one day. Me. Yet. But that's not the worst thing he ever did. We told them what he did and how bad he was and how he was going to kill us with his own version of the Sinister Six. Norman, what? Are you serious? Me, we are Norman. He was a Pokemon trainer with no honor and he deserved to die. May, yep. Nico, Norman, Caroline, I was very nervous coming out here to meet you. Caroline, we understand Nico. Me, we should tell you about Nico. You see, he is a Scion. The Scions are a race of powerful warriors from the planet Zadala and they were once considered the most feared race in the whole galaxy. Nico, that's right. My people were considered the most feared and prideful race in the universe. But they were all destroyed by a merciless and ruthless galactic tyrant named Frisia. I am now the last of my kind along with my master and teachers Kakarot, who is also called Gaku, and the prince of all Scions Vegeta. We revealed what happened to Nico and how he got to where he was. When it was done, Norman and Caroline were shocked. Norman, Nico, that's awful. I can't believe that Ken's parents would accuse you like that. Caroline, it wasn't your fault. Nico, it's all right. I'm over it now. JD and everyone helped me get over my grief. They are true friends. Me, thanks man. Don, it was a harrowing journey for him. But we helped him out. Me, yet. But as long as evil exists, no one will be safe. Nico, Norman, Caroline, I promise I will always be there for your daughter. She is the most beautiful and most amazing girl in the whole world, and together we have gotten through the most amazing battles and adventures. Norman, Nico, make sure to treat May nice. Nico, relax, sir. I'll always remain faithful to your daughter. Me, he's a man of honor and always sticks to his word. Norman. Nico, that's right. I may be a Scion, but I am not like the rest of my people. I'm what's called the black sheep of my race. Norman, I believe it. Okay Nico. We'll hold you to your word. Nico, thank you Norman. Caroline, JD, who is the next team you have to take down? Me, that would be Team Aqua. After we destroyed Team Galactic over in Central Europe, we set our crosshairs on Team Aqua. They want to use the power of Kyogre, the ocean Pokemon, to expand the oceans and flood the entire planet. They also want to defeat Team Magma. So far they haven't made their move. But when that time comes, the waters of the Alpha Ocean will come for them. Nico, the Alpha Ocean? Me, it's the name of a team I made for Kyogre. Team Alpha is the ferocity of the power of the ocean and the beginning of the start of life on Earth. Xerneas, wow. That's very philosophical and creative. Me, thanks. We made team tattoos for the legendary birds of Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos. See? I showed the tattoos we have on our arms. In order from top to bottom was the symbols of Team Valor, Team Mystic, and Team Instinct. Caroline, those are amazing symbols. It's perfect for you all. Me, thanks Caroline. We came up for the mottos ourselves. I pulled out the flags for Team Valor, Team Mystic, and Team Instinct, and they were in order as follows. Team Valor, the valor of fire shall incinerate evil. Team Mystic, the mystic freeze shall extinguish the fire of evil. Team Instinct, the instinct of lightning will electrocute evil to ash. Norman and Caroline were amazed. Norman, these flags are amazing. Caroline, and the mottos they have are amazing. Me, yep. Villain teams are still out there, and when they make their moves we will make them pay. All, yet. Nico, those villain teams have failed this world. We laughed. Me, you got that right Nico. Lincoln, and we will be there to make sure that they all pay. Earth, that's right. They've been terrorizing our world for far too long, and we won't let them do what they want anymore. Xerneas, and that is a fact. Me, yep. Later we went back home, and Norman and Caroline knew that May was in good hands, and so was Max. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Part 2, movie time. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. In the living room we were watching the most awesome movie ever. It was called The Prince of Egypt and it was centered around the story of Moses in the book of Exodus in the Bible. Moses, Ramesses. Let my people go. Ramesses, laughing still gnawing away at that bone. Are we? Carry on. Moses, you cannot keep ignoring us. Ramesses, enough. I will hear no more of this Hebrew nonsense. Bring him to me. The guards take swords out, then they jump in the water. Sipporah, Moses. Aaron, no. The guards continue walking in the water, then the wind blows at Moses. God, take the staff in your hand, Moses. Moses holds the stick, then walking in the water, then touching the water, putting the red of blood in the water, then they all run down, then the blood continues flowing at the guards, then touching the blood water. Ramesses' son, touching the blood of water father. Sipporah, it's guard, blood. Blood. Oh, blood. Me, and the rivers and waters of Egypt ran red and were as blood. They all run to the boat, then holding on, putting blood around. Ramesses, Otep. Hui. Explain this to me. Otep, ah. Hui, rest assured, your majesty. Otep, yes, we were going to demonstrate the superior might of our gods. Puts the jug down, then putting blood in by the power of R.A. Ramesses, puts his hand in the blood, chuckling, then laughing abandon this futile mission, Moses. I've indulged you long enough. This must now be finished. They all look at the boat. Moses, no, Ramesses. It is only beginning. Me, Moses is right guys. God's power far surpasses those of Egypt. Cody, I know the power of the Egyptian gods and goddesses and you are right JD. Me, yep. Aaron, but, Moses, didn't you see what happened? The priests did the same thing. Pharaoh still has the power over our lives. Moses, puts his hand on the shoulder yes, Aaron, it's true. Pharaoh has the power. He can take away your food, your home, your freedom. He can take away your sons and daughters. With one word, Pharaoh can take away your very lives. But there is one thing he cannot take away from you, your faith. Believe, for we will see God's wonders. They all look at a building, then cut to a building, with geese flying away, with the music playing, then putting the pot down, then the frogs leap up the stairs, then running away, then growing a cup, with ants walking away, then the cow lays down, then getting up, then a man wakes up and he has lice on him, then the flies fly, then the frogs leap, then hearing thunder, then lightning strikes and fireballs rain down, then looking at the fireballs falling down, then running away, then looking around, then landing on the man, then hearing thunderclap, then looking at the flies, by grasshoppers, then they all run away, then cutting the hay, then grabbing a man, then looking at Moses, then going inside, then grabbing a table, then breaking a table, then pointing, then grabbing the food, then looking at Moses, then the fireballs continue falling down, then running away, then putting separate faces, then Ramesses walks away, then the wind blows at Moses, then the statue breaks, then the buildings all fade. Then walking up, then touching the hand on the wall, walking in the dark building. We saw 9 of the most destructive and most devastating plagues ever unleashed by the power of God. We saw the plague of frogs. Hundreds of thousands of frogs covered the streets of Egypt like wildfire. Then we saw the plague of lice. Lice covered everyone and everything in Egypt and it was horrific. We then saw the plague upon the cattle and the livestock and it was awful seeing all the cattle and livestock die. Next was the plague of flies. Millions of flies flew into Egypt and they covered everyone and everything. Then came the plague of hail and fire. We saw powerful storm clouds roll in and lightning struck and huge fireballs rained down onto Egypt and burned everything they touched. Next was the plague of incurable boils and sores. We saw most of the people covered in huge ugly boils and sores that were extremely painful. Then we saw the plague of locusts. A massive swarm of locusts flew in from out of nowhere and destroyed all the crops and vegetation. Thus saith the Lord. Since you refuse to free my people, all through the land of Egypt, I send a pestilence and plague. Into your house, into your bed, into your streams, into your streets, into your drink, into your bread, upon your cattle, on your sheep, upon your oxen in your field, into your dreams, into your sleep, until you break, until you yield. I send the swarm, I send the horde. Thus saith the Lord. Once I called you brother. Once I thought the chance to make you laugh was all I ever wanted. I send the thunder from the sky. I send the fire raining down. And even now I wish that God had chose another. Serving as your foe on his behalf is the last thing that I wanted. I send a hail of burning ice. On every field, on every town. This was my home. All this pain and devastation. How it tortures me inside. All the innocent who suffer from your stubbornness and pride. I send the locusts on a wind, such as the world has never seen. On every leaf, on every stalk, until there's nothing left of green. I send my scourge, I send my sword. Thus saith the Lord. You who I called brother, why must you call down another blow? I send my scourge, I send my sword. Let my people go. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord. You who I called brother, how could you have come to hate me so? Is this what you wanted? I send the swarm, I send the horde. Then let my heart be hardened. And never mind how high the cost may grow. This will still be so. I will never let your people go. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord. I will not let my people go. This was the scariest and most amazing part of the movie. Lastly, we saw everything go dark. It was the 9th plague, the plague of darkness. And he stretched forth his hand towards the heavens, and there was darkness throughout the land of Egypt. Moses, Ramesses, oh. Let me guess. You want me to let your people go. Moses, I hoped I would find you here. Ramesses, throws a cup on the ground, get out. Moses, Ramesses, we must bring this to an end. Ramesses, please, talk to me. We could always talk here. He sighs, this place. So many memories. I remember the time you switched the heads of the gods of the temple of Ra. He sighs. Ramesses, if I recall correctly, you were there switching heads right along with me. Moses, no, it was you. I didn't do that. Ramesses, oh, yes, you did. You put the hippo on the crocodile, and the crocodile. Moses, on the falcon. Ramesses, yes. The priest thought it was a horrible omen and fasted for 2 months. Father was furious. You were getting me into trouble. Walks away, then Moses walks up to Ramesses, but then, chuckling, you were always there to get me out of trouble again. HMMPH. Why can't things be the way they were before? Ramesses' son, father. It's so dark. I'm frightened. Why is he here? Isn't that the man who did all this? Ramesses, yes. But one must wonder why. Moses, because no kingdom should be made on the backs of slaves. Ramesses, your stubbornness is bringing this misery upon Egypt. It would cease if only you would let the Hebrews go. Ramesses, I will not be dictated to. I will not be threatened. I am the morning and the evening star. I am Pharaoh. Moses, something else is coming. Something much worse than anything before. Please, let go of your contempt for life before it destroys everything you hold dear. Think of your son. Ramesses, I do. You Hebrews have been nothing but trouble. My father had the right idea about how to deal with your people. Moses, Ramesses. Ramesses, and I think it's time I finished the job. Moses, Ramesses. Ramesses, and there shall be a great cry in all of Egypt, such as never has been or ever will be again. Camera zooms to Pharaoh pointing at a baby, babies in the water, and Ramesses' son, then looking around. We gasped in sheer horror at what Ramesses was gonna do. He was going to use the 10th plague to kill all of Moses' people. Moses, Ramesses, you bring this upon yourself. Me, but he has no idea what the power of God is capable of. Camera zooms out of the building. Moses, God has come to me again, saying, take a lamb, and with its blood, mark the lintel and posts of every door, for tonight, I shall pass through the land of Egypt, and smite all the firstborn. But when I see the blood upon your door, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not enter. Closing the window, then the wind appears, flowing down at the buildings, then rattling, then hugging the people, then flowing at the door, sleeping, escaping the breath, then flowing inside, escaping the breath, then blowing the fire out, then opening a window, looking at a wind, then closing the window, then walking upstairs, with the wind flowing, then the pottery breaks, then the wind continues flowing at the men, running away, with the shadow flowing on the head, then the breaths escape. Then the wind disappears, then Ramesses walks up, holding Ramesses' son, then Moses walks up, then putting a blanket around him. We saw God's mighty angels of death fly into Egypt in the form of a ghostly white wind, and they killed all of the firstborn children except for all of Moses' people who had their doors marked by lamb's blood. When it was over, there was a horrible cry that echoed throughout the land. Ramesses, you and your people have my permission to go. Me, this was the price he had to pay for incurring the wrath and power of God. Lola, I can't believe Ramesses was like that. Lana, what a jerk. Nico, Ramesses of Egypt, you have failed all of the known world. We laughed. Me, it's over 3,500 years too late to say that, Nico. But you are right. Ramesses had to learn the hard way, and now look at what happened to him. He lost everything to the power of God. Lisa, that is a very interesting and very powerful religious curse and penalty bestowed to Ramesses' second elder brother. Me, it was. Lainey, but from all accounts he deserved it. And he paid the price for his arrogance and stubbornness. Vince, he sure did. From all accounts he deserved it. This is also one of the most important holidays in the Jewish religion, Passover. It was on April 20th, 2019. Lynn, just a couple of days ago. Me, yep. Passover is one of the most important holidays in the Jewish religion. Very, I believe it. When we finished the movie we cheered and it was awesome. Me, that movie is always awesome. Lola, it sure was. Lana, JD, what do you think happened to Ramesses after Moses freed his people? Me, I honestly don't have any idea. But if I had to take a guess, I would say that Ramesses and all of the people that were with him were forever damned. Lainey, I have a feeling you're right, JD. Lily, I have that feeling too. Anyone that doesn't follow God or his son Jesus are condemned to eternal damnation. Me, well said, Lily. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Part 3, Shark Sibling Mutants. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. At a local shipment plant in San Francisco, California, something was going on. Slobster and Slash, a humanoid lobster, and Swordfish were threatening security guards. Slobster grabs two security guards by the throats. Where are the parts you're delivering? The guards remain terrified. Talk. Or I'll. Slash intervenes. Gentlemen, I apologize. My friend's here is inelegant. He simply doesn't know the art of persuasion. Drills his nose into a security guard's shoulder. Randy, oh, man. I did not need to see that. Goes invisible. The invisible Randy runs away, but while doing so, He knocks over a soda can, getting the CV8's attention. Slash, what was that? Slobster, let's check it out. Randy ran away and he ran all over the plant. He ran through the halls and doors and he lead them on a wild goose chase. Slash, it's a wild goose chase. Slobster, I hate wild goose chases. Slash, let's get back to work. They put it aside and got back to what they were doing. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. At a local fish cannery some serious fighting was going on. Pow. A man was punched through a crate. KROW. Another man was kicked through a crate and lots of cans of tuna fell on him. Nico and Maria were dealing with pearl poachers trying to sell pearls from oysters on the black market. Nico, you pearl poachers have failed this city. Maria, and then some. Nico, let's wrap these guys up with our combo. Maria, you got it Nico. Maria fired a blast of water and Nico sent out Carnage's red and black tentacles. Nico and Maria, bind up net. The tentacles from Carnage tied them up and the water put them in a net. Nico, high fives Maria, nice job, Maria. Maria, thanks Nico. That was awesome. The pearl poachers were arrested. Nico, Maria, are you glad you and I are spending quality friendship time together? Maria, I sure am Nico. Nico and Maria walked around the wharf. Nico, San Francisco is so beautiful. You can see everything. Alcatraz Island, the Golden Gate Bridge and more. Maria, it sure is a breathtaking marvel. I wish William was here to enjoy it. Nico, I know. Maria, hey, what's that over there? Nico and Maria went to where it was and they got a surprise as they saw the street sharks and they were hurt. Nico, oh man. It's the street sharks. Maria, we have to help them. Nico, let's get them to the estate. Nico formed tentacles with undergrowth's plants and Maria formed water tentacles and they lifted them up and beamed over to the estate. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. In the laboratory of the mad scientist Dr. Luther Paradigm, something evil was going on. Reptile, Kilimari, Slobster, and Slash were working on a machine, Paradigm's last option if all else failed. Paradigm comes into the room. How are things going? Slobster, we're getting there, Doc. I can't believe we're actually building this thing. Paradigm, you three know that this might be the end of our operations in Fission City. I want to be able to continue our plans, even if they have to be in another reality. If we're lucky, we might even bring some of our fellow villains with us. Reptile, easier said than done, Doctor. Most of our best minds are dead or in the space prisons. Modok, Octavius, heck even Mojo Jojo, all gone. As far as we're concerned, you, Stearns, and Spicer are among the remaining geniuses left. Slash, don't remind me of that mama's boy. He hasn't been the same ever since that last Xylan showdown that caused most of the Shen Gongwu to be scattered. He's had an odd shift in personality since he started working on that blaster weapon of his. Paradigm, I know. Leah has him over watch. She'll let me know if something goes wrong regarding him. Look, this device of ours is extremely important. So for once, I'm trusting you three not to mess it up. Paradigm walked away leaving his three minions alone with their work again. Kill Amari, there's a good chance that this machine will work. But someone has to stay behind to destroy it so that Team Loud Phoenix Storm won't follow the rest of us. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Back at the estate in Michigan we were watching TV and playing card games. Nico and Maria came in. Nico, guys, we have hurt friends. Nico and Maria took the street sharks to the infirmary. Robot Lori and Maria Santiago looked them over. They were gonna be alright. When they woke up they saw us. Me, are you all okay? Very, we mean you all no harm. Ripster, who are you guys? Me, I'm JD. Knudsen, leader of Team Loud Phoenix Storm. Jab, whoa, it's an honor to meet you dude. Ripster, How did we get here? Nico, me and Maria found you and brought you here. Ripster, thanks guys. I'm John Bolton. But I'm also called Ripster. Jap, name's Clint Bolton and everyone calls me Jap. Strix, my name is Bobby Bolton but everyone calls me Strix. Slam you, I'm Coop Bolton but everyone calls me Big Slam you. Shred Girl, and I'm Stacy Bolton but everyone calls me Shred Girl. Me, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Lincoln, we heard about the Bolton siblings and what happened. Me, but how did this happen to you guys? Shred Girl, Dr. Paradigm. That's what? Me, Dr. Luther Paradigm? The mad scientist responsible for all the terrible crimes done to the country and to Mother Nature? Jap, yet. He's the monster that did this to us. I used my computer eyes and looked them over and I saw that their DNA was spliced with each of the species of 5 different species of sharks. One for each of them. Me, Dr. Paradigm robbed you of your humanity. Laney, he really is playing with fire and is really tampering with the laws of nature. Lola, no kidding. Me, how did he cause this to happen to you guys? Shred Girl, it was a nightmare. Flashback. Shred Girl, narrating. We were having hamburgers and it's our favorite food. When we were about to take a bite we started to change. It was an excruciatingly painful transformation. Stacy was about to take a bite out of her burger when suddenly her hands and skin turned pink and she was in a lot of pain as she was transforming. Stacy, dear God. What's happening to me? Bobby's skin turned sky blue and purple and the Bolton brothers were in an incredible amount of pain and they were changing. Bobby, my hands. John's skin turned dark blue and his hair was falling out and his shirt shredded apart and he grew razor-sharp teeth. He was now half great white shark. Clint's red shirt ripped apart and his skin turned brown and his hair fell out and he turned into half hammerhead. Coop's skin turned light orange and his hair fell out and his yellow shirt was torn apart and he grew bigger and stronger and he turned into half whale shark and Bobby's shirt was torn to shreds as his skin turned light blue with purple stripes on him and his hair fell out and he had sharp teeth. They still had their pants on. John had black pants and shoes. Bobby had green shorts, knee guards, and skates on. Clint had blue and white pants. Coop had white football pants on and Stacy had brown pants with pink skates on. Clint saw what he looked like and he was horrified. John, that lousy gene-slamming Paradigm is gonna pay for this. Bobby, lighten up guys. Maybe it's not all that bad. Stacy's skin turned pink and she lost all of her brown hair and she grew a long chainsaw-like blade from the middle of her forehead and she grew a fin and her shirt and clothes were torn to shreds. Her pants and skates were still on though. When the transformation was done, she looked at herself in the reflection of a spatula and she screamed in absolute horror. Stacy, blood-curdling scream, what did that motherfucker do to us? Coop, I don't know about you but I'm still hungry. Coop took a huge bite out of a whole hot dog cart. It was a terrible ordeal they went through. Flashback ends. Shred Girl, ever since then Dr. Paradigm ruined our lives and ruined the lives of so many innocent people. Me, what a monster. Lori, Dr. Paradigm literally disgusts me. Me, just what the world needs. Another mad scientist running amok. Fox, I would call this Dr. Paradigm Earth's version of Andros. Me, you and me both Fox. Well, we've dealt with some pretty crazy people. Some of them were mad scientists. But Dr. Paradigm is the worst one of them all. What were you all doing before Dr. Paradigm mutated you? Ripster, we just found out that Dad somehow disappeared. Jap, our friend Lena, who is one of our dad's students told us that he disappeared. Ripster, I was eating my breakfast. Jap, I was sleeping. Strix, I was talking to the ladies. Slam you, I was practicing for a football game. Shred Girl, and I was over at the skate park practicing some sick moves. Flashback. Shred Girl, narrating. I was practicing some awesome moves when I heard my cell phone ring. Stacy's cell phone rang and she answered it. Stacy, yo, talk to me. Shred girl, Dad's student Lena was on the phone. Lena, Stacy, it's Lena. Your father says that you and your brothers are to meet him in 15 minutes. Stacy, be right there. Shred girl, I had no idea that it would lead me and my brothers into getting spliced with shark DNA. Flashback ends. Me, and how did Dr. Paradigm inject you all with the DNA of 5 different species of sharks? Ripster, he set up a fake meeting spot at his laboratory and he relayed a fake message from our dad saying to meet him there in 15 minutes. Jap, but it was all a trap. He caught us and injected us with the DNA each of 5 different species of sharks. Shred girl, he strapped us down and injected it into our arms. Me, that monster. Nico, I can't believe Dr. Paradigm did this to you all. Shred girl, me neither. Being injected with Shark DNA was the most painful thing I've ever felt in my life. Flashback. Shred girl, narrating. I was injected with it right in my right arm and it felt like someone had stabbed me right in the arm with a hatchet. Stacy was injected with Shark DNA and she was screaming in excruciating agony. Stacy, screams, what? What did you do to me? Stacy was thrashing around in so much pain that it was unbelievable. Flashback ends. Me, that makes even the pain of hell look like a total joke. The worst shark girls, the flock girls, Muscio, Kathy, Sonia, and Rocky understood how they felt. Kathy, Ripster, I completely understand how you all feel. Sonia, like you, we too were spliced with DNA and made into gene slammers as you call them. Rocky, yet. We had our lives ruined. Jap, how did that happen to you girls? Ben, blame Dr. Animo for that. Nancy, yet. But we got our shark powers because of a curse. Stephanie, we were cursed by the curse of the war shark. Mariah, on the night of the full moon, we were bitten by a war shark and we were cursed. Ruby, it's not a pretty sight. Ripster, what kind of sharks can you girls turn into? Nancy, I turn into a great white. Stephanie, I'm a goblin shark. Mariah, I'm a tiger shark. Ruby, and I'm a hammerhead. Jap, that's interesting. Strix, that's awful what you went through. Max R, it was the same with me, Nutch and Angel here. We were from a post-apocalyptic world and we were part of an experiment that was going to destroy the planet called the Angel Project. We are now 98% human and 2% bird. We were spliced with bird DNA. Kathy, Dr. Animo spliced us with insect DNA. I'm a spider. Rocky, I'm a blue beetle. Sonia, and I'm a scorpion. Muscio, I was made by a brilliant scientist named Zorndike and he flooded the entire planet to destroy all of humanity. Me, yet. We've dealt with a lot of mad scientists and saved a lot of people from them. It was a terrible ordeal they went through. They were robbed of their humanity and we helped them out and they can now transform at will. Slam you, that's amazing guys. Jap, it sure is. Ripster, but you all have essentially been through hell. Strix, no kidding. Shred girl, yet. But I had no idea you all had such amazing power. Strix, that is cool though. Me, what happened to your father? Famous genetic researcher Dr. Robert Bolton? Jap, we don't really know JD. Slam you, he disappeared and we have no idea where he is. Me, I have a very strong feeling that it was Dr. Paradigm that had something to do with it. Nico, I do too. Nico to Soundwave. Soundwave, on the radio. Soundwave here boss. Nico, I need you and Blaster to go out and find Dr. Robert Bolton. He's hiding somewhere. Soundwave, we're on our way boss. Me, okay. Dr. Santiago as we call her says you are all clear to leave the infirmary. Ripster, thanks JD. We were trying to get away from a recent attack done by Paradigm. We were going to find you guys. Me, but Nico and Maria found you first. Shred girl, it's good they did. Randy then came in and he was frantic. Nico, Randy, there you are. Where were you? Randy, I barely escaped from Slobster and Slash. Strix, you didn't kill them? Randy, do I look like I could have killed them by myself? Me, Dr. Paradigm's minions are on the move. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Later in the living room we went over all the mad scientists we killed and destroyed. Ripster, so who was the first mad scientist you all destroyed? Me, that's an easy one. The first mad scientist we killed was a shinobi named Orochimaru. I pull up his profile. Jap, yuck. This guy looks like he needs a serious plastic surgeon. Me, that was my first thought too, Clint. Orochimaru was once an orphan who became a pupil of Hiruzen Sarutobi alongside Jiraiya and Tsunade. Compared to the more laid-back Jiraiya, Orochimaru stood out as a genius. His talents, knowledge, and determination were considered by Hiruzen to be that of a prodigy seen only once in a generation. According to Tsunade, Orochimaru had a twisted personality even as a child. His sadistic attitude was presumably due to the death of his parents. At some point after losing them, Orochimaru found a white snake near his parents' grave, with Hiruzen's explanation of it representing fortune and rebirth inspiring Orochimaru to study Kinjutsu and obtain knowledge of all techniques. Jiraiya theorized that Orochimaru went down this path in an attempt to forget his painful memories. During the Second Shinobi World War, Orochimaru joined Jiraiya and Tsunade in fighting hands, who gave them the title of Konoha's three legendary shinobi, Densetsu no Sunin, as a reward for surviving their battle with him, while the rest of their group were easily slaughtered in the process. On their way back to Konoha, they encountered three Omegakure orphans, with Orochimaru proposing a mercy killing before Jiraiya chose to train them instead. In the anime, Orochimaru orchestrated the last known rampage of the Eight Tails in Kumagakure by infiltrating the village while disguised as a Kumonin and posing as Blue Bee's doctor in order to trick him into taking special genjutsu-inducing pills, allowing him to extract the tailed beast. After its rampage, Orochimaru obtained the severed horn of the Eight Tails and harvested Blue Bee's DNA from it. Sometime after Team Hiruzen was disbanded, Orochimaru became an Anbu member and joined Root to work directly under Dan Shimura, while also becoming a mentor to Anko Mitarashi. It was during that time that Orochimaru met Kabuto Yakushi while accompanying Dan's in forcing the boy's guardian, Non, into a mission. While Orochimaru's ambitions did include becoming the fourth Hokage, he intended to use the title for his own agenda. Though Hiruzen knew the potential evil his former pupil had in him, he hoped to stir Orochimaru from the path before slowly realizing that he was beyond anyone's help. When Hiruzen finally named Minato Namikaze his successor, Orochimaru saw no more reason to remain in Konoha and began to be less discreet with his actions. This led to his experimentation on Hashirama Senju's DNA with 60 children he kidnapped to recreate the first's wood release, having help from Dan's. Believing it to be a failure, Orochimaru was unaware that one child had survived his wood release experiment. He later refined the process enough to inject Hashirama's cells into the Sharingan-infused right arm of Shin Uchiha, which he transplanted to Dan's. Orochimaru performed various experiments on his prisoners, some being fellow Konoha shinobi he kidnapped. He used them as human guinea pigs to develop techniques that would grant him immortality, the end result being living corpse reincarnation. Some time later, Orochimaru was at the outskirts of Kirigakure as he found Kimimaro, the sole survivor of the Kagaya clan. Soon after, thanks in part to Kimimaro, Orochimaru's research on the source of Jago's powers led him to find the Rika Cave and master Senjutsu. Unable to enter Sage mode because of the fragility of his host body, Orochimaru instead developed an alternate method of harnessing his Senjutsu chakra through cursed seals, which he tested on Anko and several others before eventually using the finalized versions on Kimimaro and the Sound 4. In the anime, Orochimaru found the Iberi clan living underground near Konoha. Taking an interest in their ability to become smoke, Orochimaru took advantage of the clan's fear of their imperfect and potentially fatal transformation by partially stabilizing it with his cursed seals. Telling them that he needed more research to perfect the process, the clan willingly gave Orochimaru test subjects. In the anime, Orochimaru witnessed Itachi Uchiha performing a training run normally meant for older and more experienced users due to the danger of it. After the young Uchiha flawlessly completed it, Orochimaru instantly became amazed and excited at Itachi's advanced growth rate. In the anime, he also allied himself with Amachi out of interest for creating a shinobi capable of underwater combat, kidnapping Land of the Sea villagers for their experiments, while introducing Anko to the project. Sometime after, Orochimaru lost interest in the project, and ordered Amachi to cancel it, while also seeing Anko as a lost cause for her refusal to use the cursed seal, and wiped her memories as she left him. Orochimaru was later sent on a mission by Dance to Iwagakure to ensure that both Kabuto and Non, the former having joined Root as a spy, killed each other as they had become major liabilities. Orochimaru instead brought Kabuto to his hideout, which would become part of his personal hidden village, Odagakure, and revealed Root's intent for Kabuto's life and the role he was to play in it. Though Orochimaru revealed that he was also sent to kill the one who survived this ordeal, he told Kabuto that he saw a bit of himself in the boy and decided killing him would be a waste of great talent. Therefore, Orochimaru offered Kabuto a position as his right hand and spy with the promise of an identity. As his test subjects began to die off, Orochimaru was caught red-handed by Hiruzen. Though he knew it was his duty, Hiruzen lacked the will to kill his student, allowing him to escape. In the anime, during his escape, Orochimaru was found by Kakashi Hatake. Despite the young prodigy's best efforts, Orochimaru swiftly defeated him. Letting his guard down at the approach of a snake, Orochimaru was greatly injured by an explosive tag concealed in the snake's mouth. Cursing Hiruzen for ruining his plans, though greatly injured, Orochimaru quickly regained his composure. He then resumed his retreat from the country, leaving a terrified Kakashi frozen in place from his malicious glare alone. Seriously wounded, Orochimaru visited the cave where the Iberi clan lived and killed them all, trying to restore his power. Upon the arrival of the youngest member, Yokomai, Orochimaru pursued her while being chased by Kakashi Hatake and Kino. Eventually, he managed to take a sample of Yokomai's blood, intending to inject it into himself to temporarily gain her ability and slip across the border, but he was attacked before he could do so and quickly escaped. Orochimaru managed to destroy most of his research facilities and booby-trapped the rest. Orochimaru ultimately escaped Konoha, leaving his emotionally broken mentor, with Jiraiya's plea for him to reconsider falling on deaf ears. Orochimaru soon became affiliated with and joined the elite criminal organization Akatsuki. Orochimaru was then partnered with Sasori, with whom he did much good for the organization. He later watched in amazement when Itachi Uchiha joined the organization. Later, when Orochimaru saw his opportunity to steal his body to gain possession of the Sharingan, Itachi used his Sharingan to stop him from doing so, while also cutting Orochimaru's left hand off to prevent him from breaking the genjutsu he was under, which led to him leaving Akatsuki to acquire a new body. For Orochimaru's defection, Sasori developed a grudge against him and used Kabuto, whom Orochimaru had sent to serve as his spy within Akatsuki, to counter-spy as his sleeper agent. However, Orochimaru discovered and undid the technique Sasori had used on him. In the anime, when tipped off by Kabuto that Sasori was on his trail, Orochimaru chose to use this as an opportunity to test his development of the second Hokage's summoning, Impure World Reincarnation. Against Sasori's third Kazekage puppet, Orochimaru summoned the actual third Kazekage through his technique. While proving his reincarnated ninja being stronger than the human puppet, the technique ultimately proved incomplete as the third Kazekage was able to regain control and break the summoning contract. Orochimaru had also been on a lifelong search for the Totsuka sword, an ethereal sword, but was unaware that it was in the possession of Itachi Susanoo. In the anime, Orochimaru witnessed Mizuki killing a comrade during a mission. Under the pretense as a gift for Mizuki's bold actions, Orochimaru granted him a specialized cursed seal. In truth, however, it was an incomplete experimental tool that would destroy whoever used it, to which Orochimaru was merely curious as to how the effects would happen on Mizuki. Ripster. Boy, this guy was really messed up. What did this Orochimaru specialize in? Me. He specialized in forbidden jutsu, techniques that are considered far too dangerous to be used by any shinobi. Slam you. He sounds like a smart and dangerous guy. Me. He was. But he was also known as the greatest enemy of the Leaf Village next to Madara Uchiha. We killed him several times over the last 3 years and in different dimensions. But here is another scientist. I pulled up another profile and it was Zorndike. Me, Jung Zorndike. He was one of the worst. He decided that humanity wasn't worthy of inheriting the Earth. Jung Zorndike was born in Tirana, Albania. Details of his early life are mostly unknown, but at some point, Zorndike graduated from the University of Tirana and decided to study in the United States to research a hybrid gene project. After doing research at Caltech and MIT, he became the head researcher on the food DNA production research project. Later, he moved to England and continued to work at the government Clone Science Institution. With venture capital investors' help, he got involved in the Sokodara Okiami hybrid gene project. Zorndike became one of the most brilliant and recognized scientists in the world and one of the wealthiest. After returning to Albania, his wife and much of his family were killed because of his research. The last words from his public speech at the University of Tirana were Chaos, Cosmos, Eros, Thanatos. He joined others in the creation of an organization known as Blue and changed the research facility that he bought with his own money into a Blue military base. He finished the research on the Chimera, which is the science of 2 cells combining in one. But as it turns out, when his wife and children were killed in a racial cleansing, he went mad with grief, rebelled against the Blue organization and occupied the South Base. He decided that mankind needed to be taught a lesson in humility and that despite recent achievements, nothing had truly changed, though they had colonized the ocean floor, solved the world hunger problem, taken great strides towards mastering genetic sciences, and filled most material needs, they have actually regressed ethically. War and strife were as common as ever, now only because of the most insignificant of reasons, prejudice. In an attempt to teach the world the pointlessness of race, he decided to reduce the number of humans alive. He also created a highly intelligent race of genetically created ocean-adaptable chimera, made from genes of the various animals of the world. This race was completely loyal and obedient to Zorndike, and he came to love them as his own children. The first stage of Zorndike's plot involved the melting of the ice caps and massive flooding that covered many cities all across the world. This also created a more broad domain for the various creatures he created using the captured South Base. He also modified a portion of Antarctica to serve as his personal home. This portion became tropical and contained jungle forests and a small village. Beyond the village was a massive chasm where Zorndike had constructed the machinery he intended to use to cause a pole shift, reversing Earth's magnetic poles. This is predicted to cause severe waves of solar radiation to seep through the atmosphere and cause the destabilization of the Earth's continents. Naturally, humanity would not sit back and be destroyed without a fight. The Blue Organization became a global military force and battle against Zorndike's forces for several years. Shred Girl. Boy, this guy was horrible. Jab. What did Zorndike specialize in? Me. Zorndike specialized in hybridization. He made these humanoid hybrid creatures with different animal species. We defeated Zorndike and he is now in the Lake Vostok prison in Antarctica for all time. Kyan. Hybridization is what made me into what I am. I'm half human, half Necrophrygian. I was spliced with Necrophrygian genes and that's what got me my powers. Ben. Necrophrygians are moth humanoids from the planet KYLNYYS, 29,000 light-years away from Earth. Nick F. Yep, and I was born half human, half Viscosian. They are jelly aliens from the planet Viscasia. Me. That's right. Jap. Wow. That's awesome. But what happened to Zorndike's creations? Me. We made a new country for them in northern Myanmar called Naderma. It's their new home. But here's the mad scientist that nearly ruined Kathy, Sonia, and Rocky. I pulled up the profile of Dr. Animo. Me, Dr. Aloysius Animo. His specialty was crossbreeding experiments. Ben, he's also one of my most dangerous enemies. He was once a promising researcher in veterinary science. His career was cut short when it was discovered that he was performing twisted genetic experiments on animals. He had hoped that his research would win him the Verdes Award, which is an award in veterinary science. Because of the nature of his research, he lost the award to another doctor, named Kelly. This drove him mad, and he dropped off the map for 5 years until he could perfect his research. In the episode Washington B.C., he finally finishes his work. For some reason, his skin is currently yellowish-green. A picture of him on Gwen's computer shows that he had normal skin in the past. By using the transmodulator, a device of his own design, Animo can mutate animals into giant versions of themselves. The second phase of his work involves reanimating dead cells, literally bringing dead animals back to life. All of this is in pursuit of the award which he had lost. His quest ends in failure, since Ben was there to stop him, reversing the effects of his transmodulator by damaging it. He is arrested in that episode. He appears again in the episode Dr. Animo and the Mutant Ray, where he creates a much larger version of the transmodulator using the broken-off faceplate of the Omnitrix. This version mutates living creatures with alien DNA, creating odd mixtures of alien and terrestrial creatures, such as a heat bat. Before he can complete his plans to use a satellite to shoot the ray all over the world, Ben stops him with Gwen's help. Since his mutants were never shown being cured, it is possible that they are still around. For some reason, his trademark giant frog is also present, though he may have simply remutated it sometime after his original defeat. How and when he escaped is unknown. In Ben 10,000, Animo is still alive, though his head is the only part of him that remains. However, it controls a unique apparatus that allows him to attach himself onto animals specially reformatted with a device, in this case, an albino gorilla, and control them. He was the one responsible for creating Exoskull and reviving Vilgax. He is defeated by both Gwen and her future self, Gwendolyn, as well as a cybernetically enhanced Grandpa Max. The animals he has mutated or reanimated include a mammoth, a Tyrannosaurus rex, a bat, a cockatoo, a hamster, a rhinoceros, a seagull, a squid, a hornet, and his trademark frog. Vilgax could be counted in as one of the creatures since Animo reanimated him. The same goes for Grandpa Max in Dr. Animo and the Mutant Ray, when Animo turned him into a slug-like creature. In Divided We Stand, it is revealed that his first name is Aloysius. He escapes what seems to be Alcatraz Island on a mutant seagull and captures one of Ben's Dittos to access the DNA stored in his Omnitrix. He creates an army of self-replicating Lepidopteran mutants, but they are destroyed and he is captured again. Afterwards, Max deletes all of his computer files, preventing him from using any more Omnitrix DNA in his experiments if he escapes again. He also appears in Ben 10 Secret of the Omnitrix, but only as the instigator of the main plot. In it he tries to create a DNA bomb that was designed to devolve all life on Earth. He is defeated and the bomb is disabled, but a stray burst of energy is still emitted by it. Ben's Omnitrix absorbs the energy, causing it to start a self-destruct sequence and therefore beginning the plot. He makes a brief appearance at the end of Goodbye and Good Riddance, wearing an ape-like exosuit, and leading a group of animal mutants towards Ben's school. Animo appears in Ben 10, Protector of Earth as the main antagonist of the Southeast. He battles in a robotic gorilla suit. He kidnaps Gwen at the Southeast. After Ben defeats Clancy, Animo's agent, he learns Animo and Gwen are at Oil Refinery. When at Oil Refinery, it is revealed that Animo has tied Gwen up to lure Ben into a trap. Ben fights Animo and saves Gwen, thought he doesn't untie her. 5 years later, during the time of Ben 10, Alien Force, Dr. Animo is found in the Null Void. He purposely went in to find new animal species but couldn't get out, where he assumed control over the Null Void Guardians and took on the alias D-Void. His appearance change in this series, his body is more muscular. Considering his surprise when he learned that Brainstorm, before he learned it was really Ben, knew his name, it can be assumed that he never went by it while there. He plans to open a wormhole to the real world to use the Guardians to take over the Earth, and he forces the citizens there to gather a mineral that not only powered his drill but gives him immense strength and near invulnerability. In Voided, his plans are foiled by the joint efforts of Helen, Manny, Ben, Max, codenamed the Wrench, and a group of other Plumber's kids, including a Havoc Beast and a Vulpimancer. Animo later returns in Ben 10, Ultimate Alien, having somehow escaped from the Null Void and going by his true name again. At the beginning of Escape from Agrigar, he used a device to take control of the Yeti in the Himalayas and create a de-evolution bomb to turn everyone in the southern hemisphere into Yetis, which Ben, Gwen, Kevin, and even the Yeti thought was a stupid idea. Using Brainstorm, Ben was able to turn his mind-controlled Yeti against him, while Kevin and Gwen disabled the bomb. He's then most likely sent back either to the Null Void or a normal jail. He has also returned to his original appearance, for the most part, and voice. Animo returns in It's Not Easy Being Gwen, where he attempts to raise an army of his signatured mutated frogs using the enhanced version of his telescopic transmodulator. He is eventually defeated by Gwen, Ben, and Kevin. Animo comes back again in the episode The Eggman Cometh, where he has a farm, which is where he uses his de-evolution ray to turn normal eggs into dinosaur eggs that when they hatch, they have creatures similar to dragons. However, he's defeated and all of the reagers are turned back into normal chickens thanks to Jury Rig and Jetray. Animo reappears in It Was Them, where he raided an army of giant ants that breathe fire, as well as building a helmet that allows him control over the creatures. Ben and Rook stumble into his giant ant hill after they mistakenly believed him to be behind the attacks of Kyber's dog. Rook uses a specialized goo to blend in so that the giant ants won't attack them. Animo catches Ben and Rook and orders his army of ants to attack them, but is interrupted when Kyber's dog joins the battle as Mueslitter. Ben mistakes that Kyber's dog belongs to Animo, just like how he thought that Buglizard belonged to Siphon, but Animo insists that it isn't his. Ben defeats Mueslitter by redirecting Animo's ants to attack it instead. At this point, Animo has regained his green skin color from the original series and his eyes are never seen to being covered in goggles. Also, his brain is exposed in a dome on top of his head, similar to Mojo Jojo, with two antennas that enable him, by thinking hard enough, to immense a powerful beam that controls animals. In a flashback in Special Delivery, Dr. Animo and his mutant mosquito attack Ben. However, Way Big crushes the mosquito by swapping it with Mr. Bottoman's truck, accidentally sending the truck into outer space and knocking over Mr. Bottoman's car in the process. In a flashback in Evil's Encore, Animo infiltrated MT Rushmore with the help of his technobugs, planning on using them to take over Plumber's HQ. He also sends a two-headed giraffe after the Tennysons, but the giraffe accidentally has its two smashed together and is knocked out. Ben, Gwen, and Max find Dr. Animo using his technobugs to override the controls and mutate the world, but Merkupchuck eats the technobugs and accidentally destroys the heads of MT Rushmore whilst spitting them outside. In the present day, Animo tries using the same plan to escape prison. However, his plan was thwarted when Blukik unwittingly ate the technobug. Animo appears again in T.G.I.S, where he resurrects and forms an alliance with VV. Argast. Argast grants Animo his own army of Chupacabra in exchange for an entire life supply of essence. This prompts Rook to contact the Saturdays for help. Animo raids his army of Chupacabra everywhere in Bellwood, including Mr. Bottoman's shop and Undertown. Animo and Argast confront Ben, Rook, and the Saturday family out on the streets. However, their alliance soon falls apart when Animo's antennas break apart, freeing the Chupacabra from his control, and when feedback strips Argast off of the power that Animo gave him. In Animo Crackers, Animo is seen in his cell in Plumber's HQ, having somehow been recaptured. He vents his anger towards his stuffed animals on his numerous failures in enslaving the world. In the process, He mentions having once allied himself with Joseph Chadwick, when suddenly, a robotic gorilla toy appears in his cell. The toy lasers the cell door open and instructs Animo in his escape from Plumber's HQ. It even blasts the elevator Animo was in into the forest, crash landing and destroying the toy. Animo then comes face to face with his future self, who had traveled back in time and transported the toy to his cells so that he can escape. Future Dr. Animo explains that he freed him from prison because he seeks a rare DNA tube called the A.R.C project from the SEC team. Both Animos encounter a faceless figure calling itself Chronospanner. Ben and Rook, who followed the crash, locate both Animos and reluctantly join forces with Spanner to defeat them. While being chased, Animo uses his new antennas, which he acquired from the gorilla toy earlier, to mutate a large army of feral squirrels into attacking Rook whilst the future Animo deals with Ben and Spanner. Eventually, both Animos succeed in getting the final vial of the A.R.C project only to end up fighting over it. When Ben gains a new transformation named Gutrot, he incapacitates the Animos with short-term memory loss gas. As Spanner makes off with the future Dr. Animo, the present one wakes up and Ben and Rook deceive him into thinking it's game night for the prisoners at Plumber's HQ. We put an end to Dr. Animo's insane experiments and he is now in Arkham Asylum. Shred Girl, that's good. People like him need to be locked up forever. You got that right. But this is one of the worst scientists. I pulled up the profile of Andros. Andros, the mortal enemy of the Lilat system. Slam you, he looks like a human monkey. He was from the planet Corneria. It's home to a race of anthropomorphic animals. No offense, Fox. None taken, JD. But yes, that is the correct way to describe us. Jab, what was Andros known for? Inhumane biotechnological experimentation. Andros was once a brilliant Cornerian scientist with pure intentions. His research proved to be extremely beneficial towards both Corneria and the Lilat system at large, earning him the title of a genius to be honored, respected, and influential. However, in time, Andros gained a wide lust for power, bringing him to the point of insanity with a disregard for public safety. Dangerous experimentation left of the Cornerian army suspicious, often questioning the ethics of them. It was not long until both Andros and General Pepper came into a serious confrontation over the issue. Andros was ordered to terminate his research, but blatantly ignored the general's demands. Eventually, his experimentation caused a massive explosion that tragically destroyed a large portion of Corneria City, and also transformed most of the Lilat system into a wasteland of near extinction. Infuriated, General Pepper banished Andros to the desolate planet Venom, in fear that he could potentially subvert the entire Lilat system if left to do his bidding. General Pepper assumed that Andros would not survive. When he was sent to Venom, however, Andros survived and made the discovery that Venom hosted life forms of humanoid lizards and monkeys. As the years progressed, he began to build an army and conduct various life-threatening experiments on himself. He became a twisted shell of his former being and was driven by madness. His thoughts and intentions shifted from protecting the Lilat system to destroying it and ruling a new galaxy under his name. Andros's evil ambition had served as a magnet to attract the scum of the Lilat system into his service. The most powerful and intelligent of his followers had been promoted to positions of leadership in Andros's military machine, and were given command of specialized war machines of great power. Andros dispatched these key lieutenants to seize strategic locations throughout the Lilat system. The machines they controlled came in a variety of shapes and sizes, and were always accompanied by fleets of support craft. With this new power founded by the forces of Venom, Andros created an empire. 5 years had passed, and General Pepper noticed strange activity coming from Venom. Under direct order from the Cornerian army, a band of mercenaries known as the Star Fox team were sent to investigate. The team consisted of 3 members: James McLeod, the founder and leader, Peppy Hare, his best friend, and Pig Madenga, his other best friend. Upon their arrival, however, Pigma betrayed the team, leaving James and Peppy to be captured by Andros. James was killed, and Peppy barely managed to escape. Returning home, he informed General Pepper of what happened and told James' son, Fox, about his father's fate. A few years after the incident on Venom, Andros declared war on the Lilat system, proclaiming himself emperor to all. Andros's legions of minions were mustered from sources throughout the Lilat system. From biotech-enhanced monsters from the abysses of Aquas to mechanized starfighters assembled in Macbeth's weapons labs, Andros's minions had one thing in common: they were expendable. Each fighter pilot was expected to willingly give his life for the Emperor, each robot was programmed to destroy or be destroyed, and each mindless biotech drone had been conditioned to think only one thought: to destroy Star Fox. Andros also had his own answer to General Pepper's Star Fox team when he offered Wolf O'Donnell money to lead a mercenary team against Fox McCloud, because Wolf was a vicious pilot who seemed to be trying to prove his equal piloting skills and see Fox fail. Andros also made his whining nephew Andrew Oikani a Star Wolf pilot to keep him out of his own business, and because he wanted nothing to do with him. Pigmadenga also joined Wolf's team because of their delight in Star Fox's doom, and Wolf also found the mysterious Leon Pawelski in a rough bar on Venom. Funded and equipped by Andros, the Star Wolf team was born as a group of elite evil pilots who defend the key routes to Venom, always flying the most advanced version of Andros's Wolfen-class starfighter prototypes, which may even have been superior to the Star Fox team's Arings. Wolf then vowed to destroy Star Fox and protect Andros, so that he may be feared throughout the galaxy. The Venom army was unleashed onto Venom's neighboring planets, destroying everything in their path. Any form of rebellion was crushed, causing the Lilat system to be on the brink of becoming a wasteland of near extinction. Corneria, Andros's home world, was the final defense left against the menacing threat which had overcome the galaxy. The Cornerian army stood no chance against the forces of Andros, leaving General Pepper to desperately call upon a new Star Fox team for help. This new team was led by James' son, composing of Peppy Hare, Toad Slippy Toad, and Lombardi Falco Lombardi. Having been trained to become experts at flying the swift Aring, Fox McCloud and his team immediately came to Corneria's aid without hesitation. The young but keen Fox guaranteed that Andros would be stopped and Pigma would be brought to justice, leaving to assist in fending off the Venomian army's invasion. After achieving what seemed impossible, the Star Fox team became the Cornerian military's leaders in defeating the forces of Andros. The planets of the Lilat system were saved thanks to their efforts, and even the rival bounty hunters of Star Wolf were disposed of. Venom's homeworld forces were also defeated, until the dictator himself awaited his demise. It seemed that Andros had been one step ahead of the Star Fox team since their invasion upon Area 6, Venom's air defenses, understanding that they posed a very large threat to his survival. This, however, didn't stop Fox from destroying the evil scientist's ultimate space weapon Gorgon. Neither did the ultra-performance all-range fighters Wolfen 2, piloted by Star Wolf, prevent Star Fox from reaching the Emperor's underground tunnels. As Fox made his way closer to Andros's main base, the Madman also accessed Fox's communication channels to taunt Fox. Andros taunted Fox by telling him that the latter would die just like his father did and that he was foolish for coming to face Andros alone. Soon, Fox reached Andros. Staring into the eyes of his father's killer, Fox was repulsed by what Andros had become. The countless lethal experiments Andros had performed in his exile took a toll on his appearance, as the Madman was nothing more than an immense disembodied head with giant mechanical hands at either side. Fox then encountered Andros and a furious battle ensued. Eventually, Fox destroyed the outer layering of Andros's head, and soon the ape revealed himself in his true form, an enormous brain with two bulging eyes that were connected to the brain by energy strands. Even though being an evil mastermind, he made a pun, stating he was the only one with the brains to rule the Lilat system. Fox then entered all-range mode, taunting Andros about deciding to show his true form, before confronting the monstrosity. Fox couldn't attack the brain directly because it was equipped with shooting eyeballs and a dimension transporter, and that would allow it to evade Fox's attacks head-on. The grueling battle continued, and both suffered large amounts of damage. But Fox gave it his all and managed to defeat Andros by destroying the cerebellum. As he burst into flames, Andros declared that if he was going to die, then he was going to take his opponent down with him, and with the last of his power, let loose a devastating self-destruction, hoping to claim Fox's life in doing so. Andros would have succeeded had it not been for James McCloud's spirit, who helped Fox escape by leading him back to the planet's surface. Meeting with General Pepper, Fox informed everyone that the great leader of Venom had finally been defeated and that the Lilat system had been saved. 4 years passed since the presumed death of Andros. After the Lilat Wars, the galaxy seemed to be at peace. A Cornerian base was established on Titania for research on its ruins, but was unfortunately a front for the leader of the base, Captain Shears, to resurrect the great Andros by cloning remnants of his DNA found on the planet. Sometime during the past 4 years, a space gang, led by Cat Monroe, had hacked into the main database of Captain Shears' files and discovered research documents on resurrecting Andros, although they initially believed that they were plans for a bioweapon. She managed to contact Falco, a former member of the gang, for assistance in dealing with what she found. Falco left without his team's permission while they were debriefed on the situation. Captain Shears misled the Star Fox team into believing the gang were actually servants of Andros, resulting in a dogfight between Fox and Falco. It was not until after Slippy explored the base and realized the truth, as well as the gang hailing Fox on the communications channel and explaining what happened and reviewing the files they hacked, that the fighting ended, although Slippy ended up captured in the process. Fox entered Captain Shears' base on Titania in an attempt to stop him, but it was too late. The once powerful dictator Andros had awakened, despite Slippy's efforts in stopping his revival. Captain Shears was crushed by the resurrected Andros, who thereafter immediately attacked Fox. Fox blinded Andros by throwing Shears's rapier at one of his eyes, escaping a close encounter and enraging Andros even more. Luckily, the Star Fox team managed to destroy the base and left Andros beneath its ruins by using a landmaster with one shot of the Nova bomb. After his apparent defeat at the hands of Fox, Andros, severely weakened and reduced to a disembodied spirit, fled the Lilat system and took refuge on Soria, the dinosaur planet, where he learned of the Krazo. Andros found and gave the renegade dinosaur warrior General Scales, who was invading the Krazo Palace at the time, more power to defeat the Earthwalker army and conquer Dinosaur Planet while at the same time keeping himself relatively unknown to Scales. After some time, Wiki/Crystal arrived on the planet and discovered the Krazo. She completed one of 6 spiritual tests, releasing a Krazo spirit into the palace. When she did this, Andros, who had been observing her the entire time, attacked, trapping her within a crystal which ascended to the roof of the palace. After this incident, he disappeared into the shadows and awaited the moment when all 6 spirits would eventually be released. A distress signal had been sent out by an injured Earthwalker soldier near the first Krazo shrine, and it was General Pepper who received it. The Star Fox team, who had been orbiting the planet at the time, was ordered by General Pepper to investigate. Falco had left Star Fox years earlier, and the team was in desperate need of funds to make repairs on the Great Fox. They saw this as a great opportunity to do so. Arriving on the planet, the lone hero Fox discovered Crystal's staff and battled his way through the dangers of the dinosaur planet, fighting against the vicious tribe known as the Sharp Claw. He learned after much research that sections of the planet were split apart, which had been causing the destruction of Dinosaur Planet. The team also learned of the Krazo spirits, and were ordered to collect all 6 to reassemble the missing sections of the planet. It was later discovered that General Scales was a mere puppet of Andros. After the final confrontation between him and Fox, the voice of Andros demanded General Scales give up the last of the Krazo spirits, which he held inside himself all along. Fox recognized the voice, but could not remember who exactly it was. Having the last spirit released, Andros arose in the form of a mighty Krazo statue under the name Krazo God, looking over the vast Krazo palace, claiming to be a divine deity. Crystal was released from her prison and saved by Fox, who watched as she took back her staff and quickly tried to destroy the floating statue. Her attacks did nothing as it floated to the skies, where it was followed by Fox in his R-ing. Arriving in space, a confused Fox gazed upon the great Krazo statue which stared back at him. It suddenly spun around, revealing the creature it had been hiding. Andros, who was thought to have been killed 8 years ago, laughed and remarked at how he was going to destroy the Lilat system. Fox, horror-struck, knew Andros had to be destroyed once and for all. A clash between good and evil ensued, as both viciously attacked one another. The fighting could be heard by the inhabitants of Dinosaur Planet itself, where they prayed for their savior's life. Andros had come too far to be defeated again, and soon gained the upper hand by nearly destroying Fox's R-ing. Only a miracle could save him from being crushed by Andros' jaws. Falco appeared from nowhere and saved Fox from being killed by firing a bomb directly at Andros as he was using his vacuum breath. Andros sensed the danger only at the last second and closed his mouth before it went inside, stunning him long enough for Falco to encourage Fox to keep fighting. Andros did not think anything of this act, ignoring Falco and concentrating on killing Fox. This was his downfall, as Falco provided bombs for Fox to use. One by one they were released into Andros' mouth, revealing the large brain he shelled underneath. Rapid shots were fired and immediately the effects of both Fox and Falco's teamwork was shown. Andros, screaming in defeat, burst into a blast of energy, destroying him and almost claiming Fox and Falco's R-ings. The evil ex-emperor had finally been defeated for good. Fox prevented the Lilat system from war once again, thanks to the help of an old friend. Andros may be gone, but his descendants, nephew Andrew Oikani and grandson Dash Bowman, both attempted to carry out his desires. Dash tried to revive the memory of his grandfather's original intentions of helping the Lilat system, whereas Andrew proclaimed himself the new emperor to continue Andros's evil intent on ruling the Lilat system. As for Andros's true fate, himself, no one knows. His ghost appeared to take the form of either a killer bee, dune worm, grunner, or even Monarch Dodora. He also taunted anyone who attempted to gain the weapon. However, this ghost was somewhat capable of thought, since he had difficulty controlling Monarch Dodora when fighting Dash Bowman, and attempted to support Dash in getting the device, presumably because he hoped that Dash will continue his legacy. In Star Fox Assault, Andros's position as emperor and ruler of his forces is succeeded by Andrew Oikonid, but this is short-lived when Oikonid is defeated by Fox, Falco, Slippy, and Crystal, and later destroyed by an Aperoid moth, although Command depicts his survival, though it is considered non-canon. We killed Andros and sealed his evil spirit into the Book of Vile Darkness. Jap, good riddance to bad rubbish. Slam you said it. Shred girl, yet. But he was a monster to begin with. He wasn't always like that. But it was an insane lust for power that caused him to become like that. Here's another mad scientist. I pulled up the profile of Dr. Zalost. Dr. Zalost, the most miserable scientist ever. Francesca, yet. This guy was extremely bad news. Courage, him. He was one of our most dangerous enemies. He wanted to kill everyone's happiness and make the whole world as depressed and unhappy as he was. Dr. Zalost was a depressed scientist whose goal in life was to make everyone as miserable as he was. In order for this to happen, he created bombs that, when a person is hit, they would instantly become unhappy. His proposal for his plan was laughed at, however. When he started firing his bombs at the citizens of Nowhere, he was given money in order for him to stop his attack upon Nowhere. Still not satisfied, he continued his attack on the citizens. This even affected Muriel Bag. Zalost had an assistant, an anthropomorphic rat named Rat. Their relationship was rather complicated, and it's shown that Zalost was more abusive in their relationship. For example, he was angry with him for not giving him a proper hug. When Courage discovered that the antidote to the bombs was Muriel's happy plums, he snuck into Zalost's tower, with the help from Eustace, who disguised himself as a pizza delivery man. Zalost then entered a hangman game with Courage, while he was tied up with one of the bombs facing him. Courage won, and Zalost was enraged. He soon sent his henchman Rat after him. Courage gives him some of Muriel's plums, and he is converted into a weeping infant. He then added the happy plums into the bomb mix, and it created new bombs that cured everyone, including Muriel. The result of the bombs being created destroyed Zalost's tower, however. He later arrived at the bag house, and saw some of the happy plums on the table. He ate some, and was converted into a more happier scientist, and he then immediately reconciled with his henchman Rat. Francesca, we beat him twice and killed him in the end. Me, yep. We killed him on the planet Venus. Here's another mad scientist we killed. I pulled up the profile of Dr. Wily. Me, Dr. Albert Wily. He specialized in robotics. Ripster, oh, I've heard of this guy. Strix, yet, I heard he placed a huge bounty on you guys. Me, he sure did. The bounty was $100,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000. Ripster, that's an enormous amount of money. Slam you, you can buy a lot of burgers with that much money. Me, I don't think you could eat that many burgers in your entire life. Dr. Albert W. Wily, also better known as Dr. Wily or Dr. Wily, is the main antagonist of the classic Mega Man series, and a major character and antagonist in the franchise overall. He is a knowledgeable and intellectual scientist and the former college friend and rival of Dr. Light, who strives to conquer the world. In almost all of his appearances, he does this through enlisting an army of robot masters to assist with his plans, which are always foiled by his nemesis and Dr. Light's creation, Mega Man. Mega Man, Dr. Wily was my arch-nemesis and he deserved to be killed. Me, he was a terror to the world of robotics. And when we killed him, that bounty became null and void. Lily, here's the mad scientist I beat. Lily pulled up the profile of Sheldon J. Plankton. Lily, Sheldon J. Plankton. He specialized in many scientific projects. But what he really was after was the Krabby Patty secret formula. Me, he was the owner and founder of the most disgusting restaurant in all of the ocean, the Chum Bucket. Yet. The food was bad enough to turn your stomach inside out. Slam you, yuck. Shred Girl, I would not want to eat there. Me, no one ever would. The food was so terrible that it makes you puke your guts out. Sheldon James Plankton, born November 30th, 1942, simply known by his surname Plankton, is the overall main antagonist of Nickelodeon's animated series SpongeBob SquarePants. Although he is the main antagonist of the series, he is sometimes an anti-hero. He is the former best friend turned archenemy of Eugene H. Krabs and the on and off archenemy of SpongeBob. He runs an unsuccessful restaurant called the Chum Bucket along with his sidekick/wife Karen Plankton. He seeks to grow his business by stealing the Krabby Patty formula and eventually take over the world. He also appears as Krabs' business rival. He has a Napoleon complex due to his very short stature. He is the main antagonist of the show's first theatrical film, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and the secondary antagonist turned deuteragonist of its second theatrical film, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. Plankton works with the help of his sidekick/W.I.F.E. Karen, a sentient computer who gives him most of his evil plans. He is an evil planktonic copepod and the business rival of Mr. Krabs, the owner of the Krusty Krab where SpongeBob SquarePants works. Despite being portrayed as an antagonist in most incarnations, he frequently appears as an anti-hero, an example being the second movie, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. While the Krusty Krab is popular among the sea creatures of Bikini Bottom, Plankton's own restaurant, the Chum Bucket, gets little to no customers. Plankton's plans all revolve around stealing the elusive Krabby Patty secret formula so he can copy it and make the Chum Bucket popular. He lives inside his restaurant, where he has an elaborate laboratory that contains Karen's system. Plankton constantly attempts to steal the formula for the Krabby Patty, the delicious burger-like food that is sold in the Krusty Krab. Plankton believes that the Krabby Patty is the reason for the Krusty Krab's success and that his chum bucket would be equally popular if it sold the patties as well. However, ensuring the success of his business is only the first step in Plankton's plan, which will culminate in him ruling the ocean. For the events of post-movie seasons, namely Season 4 and so on, but set in events between the first 3 seasons and the movie, Plankton does find alternate means to achieve success, but only temporarily. In the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Plankton serves as the main antagonist of the film, and it marks the first time when he becomes an alarmingly dangerous and depraved villain of the franchise. As Mr. Krabs is being interviewed by Perch Perkins, Plankton watches in rage, envious of him for succeeding in life when he's never had a single customer. Plankton continues to lament to Karen about how he's tried every scheme to steal the Krabby Patty formula from A to Y, and Karen informs him that there is a final letter in the alphabet, Z. Plankton discovers his plan Z in the back of his filing cabinet and revels in its sinister nature, before going outside to monologue about his upcoming victory, only to be stepped on by SpongeBob, who was heading to the grand opening ceremony of the Krusty Krab 2. That night, Plankton initiates the first phase of his plan by stealing King Neptune's precious crown, which concealed his baldness, and subsequently abandoning it in the Forbidden Shell City, framing Mr. Krabs for the crime. As a result, Neptune freezes Mr. Krabs in place and allows SpongeBob and Patrick 6 days to retrieve the crown. Plankton then takes advantage of Mr. Krabs' frozen state and steals the Krabby Patty formula with ease, producing Krabby Patties under the guise of preserving the Krusty Krab's legacy, also giving out free bucket helmets with each purchase, allowing the chum bucket to become just as popular as the Krusty Krab had been previously. When Karen points out that SpongeBob and Patrick could retrieve the crown and unravel Plankton's plan, he reveals that he had thought ahead and hired a hitman named Dennis to destroy the two. Later, Squidward uncovers Plankton's scheme and threatens to report him to King Neptune, resulting in Plankton revealing that the bucket helmets were also minded control devices, enslaving the entire population of Bikini Bottom and turning them against Squidward. Plankton then begins turning Bikini Bottom into Planktopolis, a city dedicated entirely to him, which Princess Mindy attempts to use as a motivation for SpongeBob and Patrick when they prepare to give up. Even when SpongeBob and Patrick finally manage to return the crown to Neptune after defeating Dennis and the Cyclops, this still doesn't stop Plankton as he puts a mind-controlling helmet on Neptune, revealing that the theft of the crown was nothing more than a ruse to lure Neptune under his control and take over the seas for himself. Eventually, Plankton is defeated by SpongeBob when he sings the Goofy Goober Rock to remove the bucket helmets from all of the fish. Plankton is then arrested for his crimes and sent to jail. Plankton returns in the 2015 sequel The SpongeBob Movie, Sponge Out of Water, which set before the first film as the secondary antagonist turned deuteragonist. He attempts to steal the Krabby Patty's secret formula, but in this conflict, it disappears when Burgerbeard writes in the magic book to steal it. Then he later becomes an anti-hero, when he begrudgingly teams up with SpongeBob, who was rescuing him from Mr. Krabs, and the people of Bikini Bottom falsely accuse Plankton of stealing the formula and SpongeBob for joining his side. Throughout the journey, SpongeBob tries to show Plankton the meaning of teamwork, much to his annoyance. Then they go time traveling to keep the secret formula from disappearing but fails. Then Plankton, who was hiding inside SpongeBob's pocket, surprisingly appears to help out with SpongeBob, Patrick, and the others to get the Krabby Patty secret formula back from Burgerbeard, the true culprit, as superheroes. Using the magical book that Burgerbeard stole earlier, Plankton becomes a giant muscle-bound hero, dubbing himself as Plankton. After Burgerbeard defeats SpongeBob, Sandy, Patrick, Squidward, and Mr. Krabs, he attempts to escape, only for the muscle-bound Plankton to stop him by lifting up his ship. Embellished with the true meaning of teamwork, Plankton helps SpongeBob create a storm full of the bubble to capture Burgerbeard and force him to return the formula. After kicking Burgerbeard away into a marooned island, Plankton ponders on what to do with the formula, much to Crab's distraught. However, Plankton decides to give the formula back to Crabs, admitting that keeping things to himself is a selfish thing to do. As everything in Bikini Bottom was turned back to normal, Plankton continues his role as the Krusty Krab's business rival, going back to his formula stealing tricks just to keep things in the status quo. Lily, I stopped him from ruling the world and got him sent to prison with a terrible curse, eternal life as a brainless idiot. But his mind was too strong for the curse and it kicks in at times. The second time he broke out of prison and I stopped him again. This time I banished him into the endless void of space. Golly, and it's good she did. Me, yep. Strix, he deserved it. Me, yep, and here's our latest kill. I pulled up Dr. Blight's profile. Me, Dr. Barbara Blight. She specialized in biochemistry and chemical warfare. Ripster, I heard about her. She was trying to destroy the human race. Lori J, she was my aunt. Emma J, and she was a monster. Me, yep. And she was totally anti-God. This super scientist believes in better living through biochemistry and has experimented on herself in her efforts to produce the perfect human. Deviously demented, she misuses her scientific genius by inventing new methods to sap the environment of its health and vitality in order to supplement her own. Dr. Blight began her career researching biological and chemical warfare and, thus, has a host of deadly and dangerous weapons at her disposal. She represents the dark side of science, using her vast knowledge to create biological monstrosities, wipe out entire populations of plants and animals, and generally wreak havoc on Earth. She even used a time machine in order to sell an atomic bomb to Adolf Hitler himself, which was considered her most evil act by the Planeteers. Bambi Blight was the first person to reveal that Dr. Blight will often flirt or flatter in order to get her way, though she is unafraid to stand up for herself if one of the other eco-villains dares to upset her. Her supercomputer, Mal, is programmed for pure evil. Mal's high level of artificial intelligence is often devoted solely to calculating new and diabolical ways to destroy Captain Planet and the Planeteers, leaving Dr. Blight to pursue more creative research. Sometimes, she will be very pleasant and flirtatious towards Mal, while at other times, she will become extremely angry, violent, and aggressive when dealing with him. Dr. Blight sees herself a fashion plate, often appearing in a chic long-sleeved jumpsuit and high-cut boots. She wears a utility belt to which various items may be attached. Her hairstyle helps hide the huge scar on the left side of her face. The scar's origin has never been explained, but it was likely caused by one of her experiments. Blight likes to show off her figure by wearing skin-tight jumpsuits, usually colored pink. As an eco-villain, her character symbolizes the dangers of uncontrolled technology and scientific experimentation. In the two-part Captain Planet episode, Mission to Save Earth, Dr. Blight was one of the 5 eco-villains who created Captain Pollution. They did this by creating and using 5 anti-elemental rings consisting of super radiation, deforestation, smog, toxins, and hate. Barbara's element was hate. Unfortunately for the eco-villains, though, Captain Pollution was destroyed along with the rings, leading Blight and the other villains to flee. Me, she was killed by us and sealed into the Book of Vile Darkness. We killed her down in Antarctica after we helped save the world from many of the Planeteers' enemies. Lori J, good riddance to that monster. Emma, I'm glad we never have to see her again. Me, yep. Let's see what it says about Dr. Paradigm. I pulled up Dr. Paradigm's profile. Me, Dr. Luther Paradigm. It says that he's a geneticist that specializes in marine genetics. In the movie, which can be taken as the first episode or first 3 episodes of the TV series, he obtained DNA from Genghis Khan and Captain Blood to use on a swordfish and a lobster. Dr. Bolton, a respected scientist, tried to put a stop to Paradigm's experiments, but after injecting the swordfish and lobster with the DNA, mutating them into Slash and Slobster, he injected Bolton with DNA, transforming him into an unknown monster and taking his watch. When Bolton's sons John, Bobby, Coop, and Clint came over to the nuclear power plant, he injected them with shark DNA, transforming them into anthropomorphic sharks called the street sharks, renamed, respectively, Ripster, Strix, Slamu, and Jab. However, they used their power for good and not evil. Paradigm attempted to take over the city while maintaining a public image, claiming that the street sharks were dangerous and that Bolton transformed them. When Lena Mac told Guy in the Sky that Paradigm was responsible, he denied it and everyone believed him. In an attempt to eliminate the street sharks' loyalty, which he perceived as weakness, Paradigm planned to inject them with piranha DNA. This went wrong, as the resulting battle caused Paradigm to be injected with it instead, giving him piranha-like features. This form is called Piranoid. The DNA was unstable, so he returned to his original form, only transforming into Piranoid when he was angry. With the discovery of unstable DNA, he sent Slash and Slobster to impersonate the street sharks in an attempt to frame them. However, Benz and Lena Mac revealed the truth to the city, and in a rage, Paradigm transformed into Piranoid, exposing him for the monster that he was. He attempted to use a smart bomb to destroy the city. However, the street sharks fought him in a final battle, ending with Piranoid grabbing onto a metal beam, Slamu biting it to send it falling, and Jab punching a hole in the ground below Piranoid, sending him falling to his apparent death before his lab was destroyed by the smart bomb, which the street sharks set to crash into the lab instead. The final scene shows Piranoid's arm in the rebel moving upward, hinting that he may still be alive. Ripster, yet and he's the monster that did this to us. Slamu, he made us this way and now he wants to turn all of humanity into Soviets. Me, that is absolutely disgusting. Lainey, he's really playing with fire. Lisa, and he's tampering with the laws of Mother Nature. Me, just what the universe needs. Another mad scientist running amok. Maybe we can put his research to good use. I pulled out a flash drive and inserted into the computer. Me, computer, copy, download and triple encrypt all data on the experiments of Dr. Luther Paradigm. Computer, acknowledged. The computer copied and downloaded all the data. Computer, replication and download complete. Me, great. Pulls out the flash drive. Computer, purge all of the data on Dr. Paradigm's computer in Fission City. Passcode, Firestorm. Computer, purging data from all of Dr. Paradigm's computers. On the scans it showed that the purge was done. Me, purge is done. Now it's time for us to kill Dr. Paradigm once and for all. Jab, chuckles darkly. You don't know how long we've wanted to hear those words. Razor Claw, you guys seem eager to end Paradigm. Shred Girl, angrily, he's ruined so many lives, including ours. You know, I had plans before my transformation. Finish college. Get a boyfriend. Have a life. Me, first let's turn you all human again. How would you like to have the ability to turn into your street shark forms at will? Ripster, that would be awesome. Me, okay. But just so you know, this is gonna hurt. A lot. Jab, we can handle it. Me, okay. But boys, you better cover your eyes. I snapped my fingers and covered my eyes and the street sharks were reverting back. Stacy, oh no. The Bolton siblings were holding their stomachs in excruciating pain and Stacy started changing back first. Ripster, groans in pain. So painful. Jab, groans in pain. Why does this keep happening? Strix, groans in pain. It's too much. Slamu, groans in pain. It hurts so bad. Shred Girl, groans in pain. It'll be over soon, guys. Stacy starts reverting back and we cover our eyes and she loses her pink skin, shark teeth, long saw nose and big muscles, and she regains her brown hair and she was topless. The same things happened to her brothers. John, I'm human again. Coop, awesome. Bobby B, I have my beautiful face again. Clint, righteous. It feels great. Stacy, my beautiful self is restored. We had our eyes covered. Stacy giggles as Nico covered his eyes with a blindfold. It's okay, Nico. You can look. I don't mind. It's been a while since boys have admired my beautiful body. Nico, why should I look? So Nicole and the rest of the anti-pervert patrol can beat me up? Nope, my blindfold's staying on until you put on a shirt. Maria, me and Teresa will help her with that. Me? Okay. Maria and Teresa took her up to Lenny's room. Stacy had an indestructible black sleeveless trench coat and pink shirt with the sleeves torn off and a skull on it. The clothes were elastic and there was a cut in the back to allow a shark fin to grow through. Maria, so how do you feel, Stacy? Stacy admires herself in a mirror. I feel great. I can't wait to do human things again. I felt like a prisoner trapped in a shark body. Stacy then showed that she can control the changes of her street shark form and her human form at will. She changed her hand back and forth at will. Stacy, I can control my changes at will. JD lifted a huge curse off us and gave us a powerful gift. But then her hand started to change without warning. Stacy, this is gonna take some practice though. Maria, you will get the hang of it, Stacy. But with great power comes a great responsibility. Teresa, me and Maria know how you feel, Stacy. The two of us got mutated by the Big Bang until we got cured. Stacy, I heard about that. I'm sorry you guys. Maria, it's all right. Maria massaged Stacy's shoulders. Stacy, that feels so good. I missed being human. Maria, I felt the same way, Stacy. Maria also massaged the spot where Stacy's fin came out and it was really relaxing. Stacy, that's the spot. Right there, right there, right there. Much better. Maria, a lot of pain you have, hey? Stacy, yet and then some. The Bolton siblings were now human again. The doorbell then rang. John had a blue trench coat on and he had a dark blue shirt with shark teeth on it. Bobby had an aqua blue trench coat and a purple shirt on with shark teeth. Clint had a brown trench coat and red shirt with shark teeth on it. Coop had a red trench coat and an orange shirt with shark teeth. Me, so how do you guys feel? John, we feel awesome, JD. Coop, it's great being human again. Bobby B, yeah, we felt like prisoners in shark bodies. Clint, it's great to be human. Lincoln got the door and in came Luke Cage aka Power Man. Luke Cage, hey guys. We saw him. Me, Luke Cage aka Power Man. It's an honor. Luke Cage, you too, JD. The Avengers have told me a lot about you. Me, I had a feeling they did. Spider-Man, hey Luke. Power Man, Spidey. Long time no see. How've you been? Spider-Man, good and better than ever. Me, we're about to head out to kill Dr. Paradigm. He's a mad scientist that turned the Bolton siblings here into sharks. Luke Cage, the street sharks? I've heard a lot about them. But I didn't buy a single lie that Dr. Paradigm said about them. Me, not only that but he has done all kinds of horrible things and tampered with the laws of Mother Nature. He will pay for his crimes. We went over the crimes of Dr. Paradigm and it was awful. G1 Grimlock, me, Grimlock will chomp bad doctor into nothing. Power Man, get in line, Grimlock. When I'm done with Paradigm, his body's gonna be all over the place. Me, easy guys. Dr. Paradigm will pay for his crimes. But before he does we have to let everyone know what kind of monster he is. John, that's a good idea. Stacy, we can't let Dr. Paradigm get away with his crimes. Me, no we won't. Alright Team Loud Phoenix Storm, let's fly. We set out for Fission City, Washington. Our mission was to destroy Dr. Luther Paradigm and make him pay for everything he has done. ******. Fission City, Washington. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. As we flew over Fission City, we saw that our domes we set up were holding nicely. Our anti-pollution domes are working well. Very. They sure are. Nico, yep. Soundwave. On the radio. Soundwave calling Nico. Do you copy? Nico here Soundwave. Soundwave. We found Dr. Bolton, boss. But you are not gonna like what he has become. Your suspicions were right. Dr. Paradigm did change him. Nico, oh man. Meet us over at the university. We're going after Dr. Paradigm. Soundwave. On our way now, boss. We met at the university and Soundwave and Blaster arrived and we saw Dr. Bolton. But he was completely different. He was now half man, half blue whale, and it gave him superhuman strength and power, and he now had sonar and more. We were shocked and horrified at what he had been turned into. Dr. Robert Bolton. Dr. Bolton, JD. Knudsen and Team Loud Phoenix Storm. I can't believe that Dr. Paradigm is that insane. No. He's more than insane. He's incredibly fucked up. Dr. Bolton, I know JD. I can never show myself in public like this because of him. No. I can fix your condition, doctor. I have the power to do so. I did so to your children. Dr. Bolton, you did, JD? See for yourself. Dr. Bolton saw his kids human again. Dr. Bolton, my children. John, hey Dad. We were worried about you and now we know what had happened. Dr. Bolton, I know, son. But I can't believe that the man that I once respected did this to me. Dr. Paradigm betrayed everyone and he ruined so many lives. He will pay for everything he has done with his life. Lainey, we won't let him get away with this. Lucy, he will suffer 10,000 deaths for everything he's done. Lana, yet. Dr. Paradigm is messing around with the laws of nature in its entirety. He's really playing with fire and messing around with forces no one should ever know. Lincoln, and when you mess with Mother Nature there will be horrible consequences. Dr. Bolton, that's right. Let's get you human again. I snapped my fingers and Dr. Bolton was back to his human form. Dr. Bolton, I'm cured. Clint, Dad. Stacy, Daddy. John, Dad. Coop, Dad. Bobby B, Dad. They hugged him. Dr. Bolton, my kids. I'm so glad you're okay. John, thanks to JD, Dad. We would have never gotten our humanity back if it weren't for him. Dr. Bolton, thank you, JD. I feel better than ever before. I also gave you the ability to transform into your whale form at will. Your children now have the same power. But they also have a powerful bonus. John, what is it, JD? You'll love it, John. Come on, guys. It's time to show Dr. Paradigm what happens when you mess with the laws of nature. Everyone, yet. We went to Dr. Paradigm's lab in an abandoned government facility. We were outside. So this is his lab. Dr. Bolton, yes. And I tried to stop him but he turned me into a blue whale monster. Slobster, that's not the least of your problems. We saw Slobster, / kill Amari and Reptile. John, Slobster. Clint, / Bobby B, kill Amari. Coop, Reptile. You guys are really ugly. A mutated lobster, swordfish, squid, and electric eel. But when we kill you we're gonna be eating you guys for dinner. Nico, let's beat them up and turn their corpses into food. Let's get them, guys. / here, take kill Amari. No one likes him. Throws kill Amari near us as he and the other 3 run away. Kill Amari, oh, thanks a lot, you traitors. We were glad he did that. I put up a barrier to make sure they didn't escape. Me. Let's turn these freaks into fish dinner. We went at them. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Battle 1. Kill Amari vs Edzilla. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Edzilla smashed his fist into kill Amari and knocked out his teeth. Edzilla. Ed smash squid freak. Ed smashed the kill Amari all over the place. Nico. Easy now. Remember, we want to kill him while leaving his body intact. Otherwise, we can't make food out of his corpse. Edzilla. Oh. We then went after Slash, Slobster, and Reptile as they went into the factory. We saw Dr. Paradigm running and Slash, Slobster and Reptile were behind him. Nico runs after Paradigm. You know you won't get very far from us. You disappoint me, Paradigm. Just then, a door blocked our path to Paradigm. Nico, damn door. Inside, Paradigm was near the dimensional doorway along with Slash, Slobster, and Reptile. Paradigm, they'll get through that soon. We don't have a lot of time. We'll get away with this dimensional doorway. I set the coordinates, so we can use it to escape to another world and... pauses. Slobster, something wrong? Paradigm, no. Team Loud Phoenix Storm have visited other dimensions before. If we leave, we could take them with us. Everything we and the other villains have been through, it will start all over again. We can't let that happen. Power Man, punches through door. Knock knock. Anyone home? Paradigm, Reptile, you know what to do. Whatever happens to us doesn't matter anymore. The rampage of Team Loud Phoenix Storm has to end on our Earth. Reptile shoots electric eel at dimensional doorway with pleasure. The eel shorted out the doorway, destroying it. Nico, that was a mistake, Paradigm. You're gonna pay for that. But only for a little while. And then the world goes black for you and it'll be all over. Me, Dr. Luther Paradigm. So we meet at last in person. Dr. Paradigm. So it would seem JD. Me, it's a shame really. You had so much talent and knowledge to share with the world and you threw it all away just to satisfy your own twisted and selfish pleasures. John, you turned us into sharks and ruined our lives. Stacy, not just us, but you ruined the lives of many others and destroyed their humanity. Paradigm, to Sonia, Rocky, and Kathy, I see you three still have your monster forms. Sonia, how do you know about that? Paradigm, who do you think gave Animo the DNA he injected into you three? That would be me. We gasped. Me, you will now pay for your crimes, Paradigm. We transformed and powered up. Me, we're pulling your plug for good, Paradigm. It's time for you to face up to your crimes against nature. Nico, Dr. Luther Paradigm, you have failed the scientific community, and the entire planet in general. Me, and he has also failed the entirety of the laws of Mother Nature. Let's take him down. We went at them and it was a vicious battle. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Battle 2, Slash vs Rhino. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Rhino rammed Slash and sent him crashing into the wall and he was mangled up. Rhino, Swordfish is my favorite. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Battle 3, Slobster vs Clawful. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Clawful punched Slobster and knocked him out. Clawful, you are gonna make a great gumbo for dinner. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Battle 4, Reptile vs Frankenstrike. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Ben turned into Frankenstrike and overloaded Reptile's body with lightning and knocked him down. Reptile, fine. Kill me. But I have to warn you. My body will not be tasty for you. Frankenstrike, eat you? What are you talking about? You're part eel. Reptile, but Paradigm said. Frankenstrike, sounds like you got hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Flim-flammed. Not many people like eels. Believe me, my grandpa sometimes makes them. And you were human before. I snapped my fingers and stripped Reptile of his moray and electric eel DNA and turned him back to normal. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Battle 5. Dr. Luther Paradigm. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. We were facing Dr. Paradigm. Me. Now it's just you and us, Dr. Dickhead. Dr. Paradigm. Not for long. Dr. Paradigm went to the computer and typed in a sequence and a syringe went at Luke Cage. But just as it was about to poke him, the syringe shattered into a million pieces. Paradigm? What? That's impossible. Power Man. Unbreakable skin. Dumbass. Dr. Paradigm. Let me guess. From being around Team Loud Phoenix Storm, right? Power Man. Actually, my parents gave me unbreakable skin even before I met JD and the others. Aquaman. How do you get medical vaccinations then? Power Man. I drink them. Maria? Really? Power Man. I'll explain later. Grabs Paradigm by the wrist. Now, hold still. If you do, your death will be over before you know it. Luke Cage threw him into the air. Me. Combo time, guys. But we need him alive to face trial for his crimes. G1 Grimlock. Me Grimlock understand. G1 Grimlock fired a stun rifle and Aquaman fired a blast of water. Aquaman. Electric stun wave blast. The blasts combined and electrocuted Dr. Paradigm. Razor Claw. G1R turn Maria. Maria. You got it, Razor Claw. Maria became a bowl of pure water. Maria and Razor Claw. Maelstrom Bull Ram. Me. Final smash time. John. I'll start us off. Great White Chomp. John turned into Ripster and went at Dr. Paradigm and bit his whole suit off. Luke Cage. My turn. Power Man Slam. Luke Cage dealt a powerful kick to Dr. Paradigm's stomach and sent him crashing into the ground. I pulled Dr. Paradigm out of the ground and threw him into the wall and ripped off his suit. Me. It's over, Dr. Paradigm. You are through. But then we got an unexpected shock and we saw Dr. Paradigm change. He had grown fish scales, webbed hands, and feet and fins, and his face changed horrifically. He had ugly teeth that were razor sharp. He was now half human, half piranha. He was Dr. Paranoid. Me, what the fuck? Nico, you are one ugly motherfucker. Ripster, when he gets mad he turns into Dr. Paranoid. Me, I think it's perfect for him. We tied him up. Dr. Paranoid, I loathe you all more than all of life itself. We then got a massive power boost unlike anything before. Me, wow. That was powerful. Ripster, why do I suddenly feel stronger than ever before? Stacy, yet. That was amazing. Me, whenever someone expresses a tremendous amount of hatred or negative emotions towards us, we get stronger from them by absorbing negative energy. Apparently the word loathe is much more powerful than hate. Dr. Paradigm / Paranoid was arrested. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. We revealed the full extent of his crimes to the world and all the pain and suffering he has caused to the people of the world and to the country. We also revealed all the pain and suffering he caused to so many people. Dr. Paradigm was condemned to death. We had him executed by firing squad and sealed into the Book of Vile Darkness. Reptile was in reality known as Mr. Cunnyworth, who was a hotel manager. He was thrown into prison for his crimes. Rachel, Animorphs JD, can I turn into a street shark? Me? Let's find out, Rachel. Stacy turned into Shred Girl and Rachel touched her. Rachel concentrated and groaned in agony as she fell on her hands and knees. Then she saw fangs growing out of her mouth as her human teeth sank into her gums. Rachel, Animorphs, it's starting already. She noticed her hands were changing into claws. Rachel, at least I'll have powerful hands. Rachel's skin color turned gray. Her face pushed outward into a pointy snout with her nose becoming slits along with it, her eyes going wider and smaller. Her brown hair then fell out. Rachel, I hope my transformation is almost done. Finally, Rachel felt an itching feeling in the center of her back. She felt something protruding against the back of her vest and shirt. Rachel, well, that's a lot of money that I'm not getting back for those clothes. A giant fin burst out of her back, destroying her shirt and vest and completing her transformation. Me, you can turn into a street shark. Rachel, Animorphs I sure can. Ripster, that was cool. To the viewers, never mess with the laws of Mother Nature or there will be horrible consequences. Me, you said it Ripster. We headbutt. All, Chazome. Dr. Bolton, Ripster, Jab, Striex, Slam You, and Shred Girl now live with us in the estate and the worst shark girls are now dating the 4 brothers. The end. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Another fanfiction complete. Street Sharks has been one of my favorite cartoon shows since I was a little kid. It was awesome. Same with The Prince of Egypt. I've known that movie since I was a little kid and it was awesome. The scariest part of that movie was the 10 plagues. The most deadly and most destructive plagues ever unleashed by the power of God. I may be Christian in terms of religion, but I have always been very curious about all the religions. Nico-chan11 gave me the ideas for this one. Thanks man as usual. Let me know what you all think. See you all next time. The Prince of Egypt belongs to DreamWorks Entertainment. Street Sharks is owned by Martha Moran and Phil Harnage and Dick Productions LP and Bobit Entertainment.